This segment is sponsored by AAA Mid-Atlantic.
As we kickstart this conversation all week long on Virginia this morning about traffic safety, we're joined today by AAA Mid-Atlantic traffic safety expert Martha Meade. Martha, it's wonderful to see you today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on this very important topic.
Absolutely. So much incredible work going on. We're kickstarting the conversation that will continue throughout the week, talking today about distracted driving and a brand new law that goes into effect January 1st.
That's right. And I think we should start out really by talking about just how serious of a problem this is. In Virginia, from January through October of just this year, there have been 25,000 distracted driving involved crashes, 8,000 injuries, and 100 deaths. And that's actually down, Jessica, from last year because, of course, people are not driving as much due to COVID. So this is a real problem. And what we find is that folks just don't perceive it in their brains. When you take your eyes off the roadway for even a second or two or three or four, which is a really long time, although our brain doesn't feel that it's so long, your risk of crash goes up somewhere between 600 and, believe it or not, 2,300%. So this is an effort to educate the public about the danger and stop these preventable deaths on Virginia roadways.
It really is incredible, Martha. You raise a great point when AAA Mid-Atlantic has shared these statistics before about just how quickly something happens when you're distracted for only a moment, how significant that can impact things. And of course, the statistics on crashes that you've shared, we've all seen it. Folks that are drifting from their lane, close calls, people doing everything imaginable behind the wheel. A transition like this with this new hands-free law going into effect January 1st is pretty incredible and very significant.
It's very incredible and very significant. I think one of the reasons that we have to have the law, right? For many of us, it seems common sense. You need to look at the roadway in front of you or you're going to hit something. And that's never a good thing. But we found when we surveyed within the last year, AAA surveyed folks, and 97% of the people we talked to, right, told us, that's virtually everybody, that they feel like when someone else is texting or emailing, which by the way is illegal, while driving, it is a serious risk to the person who answered the survey's safety. Yet, Jessica, 45%, essentially half of those very same people admitted to having read or an email or a text in the past 30 days, and 35% had actually written one while behind the wheel. So there's a huge disconnect between what we intellectually know is dangerous and what we actually do on the roadways. And that's why this law is so important. It came from a lot of work from AAA, Drive Smart Virginia, the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, and a special shout out to Delegate Bourne and Senator Surabel. All of these groups and many others have literally worked for years to get this law passed. And it's an easy one to understand. It's a hands-free law. You cannot hold a personal communications device in your hand while driving the car, period. And you can be pulled over if you do. Bluetooth is fine, of course, but it's a huge step forward to traffic safety. And we really believe that it will absolutely save precious lives on Virginia roads.
Martha, we know that this change will be incredibly significant. We are joined by Police Chief Howard Hall with Roanoke County, Virginia, and past president of the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, for his insight on the significance of this change, the hands-free law going into effect January 1st, and what impact it will have on roadways as far as what police are experiencing.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for having me on today. We think that the impact will be very significant in a very positive way. As Martha's talked about, distracted driving is hazardous. It contributes to many, many crashes. Some of the research on this has been done in Virginia by the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, where they have shown that the risk of crashes increases substantially, particularly when people are using with their hands, personal communication devices. So January 1st, as you said, there will be a hands-free law in Virginia. It's a primary violation, which means that police officers can pull someone over just for having that device in their hand. So it eliminates a significant enforcement problem that we have had with current laws that make it very difficult for us to tell when someone's actually violating it or not. People that are found guilty of this violation are going to be subject to a fine of $125 for the first offense and $250 for subsequent offenses. Because of the serious nature of distracted driving, motorists should expect this to be an enforcement priority for state and local law enforcement agencies. We are going to pull people over for this. We are going to enforce this law simply because it's hazardous behavior. And we try to focus and prioritize our enforcement around those violations that are causing crashes. So historically, as we enforce the speed laws or people running through red lights, it's for the same reason. Distracted driving contributes so significantly to crashes that people should expect fairly strict enforcement, all with the idea of changing driver behavior. What we really want is for people to put the phone down, whatever the device is, put that down, not use it, focus on driving. And 6 weeks out, roughly, from this law going into effect is a great time, not only for people to stop using them now, but to prepare, for what they're going to do. If you don't have a Bluetooth device and your car doesn't have one installed, Christmas is right around the corner. There's a great Christmas gift for somebody. And of course, if there's really something going on that's that important that you need to take that call or you need to look at that text message, pull off the road. Stop the car in a safe location and just take care of that business. Again, because we would much rather have people comply and much rather have reduced crashes because of this than have to do the enforcement. But if people don't comply, then that's where the enforcement will happen.
Great insights from Chief Hall. You heard it straightforward right there. Changing driver habits, putting that device down, and certainly if something is beckoning, pull over to make those communications, but no longer will you be able to hold those devices in your hand. It is hands-free, and that goes into effect January 1st. Martha, Meade, thank you so much for making time today. And Chief Hall, we appreciate your insight as well. It's been great talking with both of you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
That was some very important information. We'd like to thank our friends at AAA Mid-Atlantic and Police Chief Howard Hall from Roanoke County, Virginia, for getting that to us today. To learn more, visit AAA.com.